Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have some exciting news if you're a Norwegian Cruise Line fan, as they have inked the deal, finalized everything, and the ships are on order. Brand new ships coming to Norwegian Cruise Line. We have Carnival responding once again to people who just don't seem to get the message about putting your phone on airplane mode, and another passenger came home with a large bill as well. We have our first outbreak of February, and it happened on February 1st. That's right, it happened right away. We had 5 outbreaks last month, and we already had the first outbreak this month, starting at the very first day of the month. We're on a roll, folks. First off, congratulations to Christine Duffy, CEO of Carnival Cruise Line, for 10 years, a full decade at the helm of Carnival Cruise Line. She just had her anniversary. Congratulations, Christine, on a job well done going through the pandemic, keeping the Carnival Cruise Line afloat, and now ordering new ships for across the fleet. Princess is getting new ships, P&O is getting new ships. We have new ships coming to Carnival. It's a good time for Carnival right now. But speaking of Carnival, once again, brand ambassador John Heald had to answer a cell phone question about charges. Apparently, a young daughter, teenage daughter, 17 years old, young love must have been in the air. I mean, it is almost Valentine's Day, and she kept on calling her boyfriend back home. She also kept texting with data, and when they got home, they got a $411 phone bill. I think they get off pretty easy with only a $411 phone bill, but let's just say a $411 phone bill where she said Carnival did not warn us about this, and that John Heald should show some compassion and pay for at least 50% of the phone bill. Also, she said she contacted Carnival. They said they couldn't help. She contacted her travel agent. They said they couldn't help. Let me just explain this to you right now, lady who wrote in to John Heald. It is not the responsibility of the cruise lines to make sure you don't rack up expensive bills. If you go into the casino and spend $10,000, it's not the casino's fault that you went in and spent $10,000. If you went in and paid pay-per-view movies and watched 15 movies, it's not their fault. You racked up $280 in pay-per-view movies. It's not their fault. They warn you on every cruise I've ever been on to make sure that your phone is on cell phone, airplane mode. Every tips video I ever see about cruising says put your cell phone on airplane mode. It's just a thing that is there, and unfortunately it's not compassion. If they started paying for everybody who mistakenly didn't put their phone on airplane mode, well, people just wouldn't put their phone on airplane mode and then claim that they forgot, and it's the Carnival Cruise Line's fault for them doing it, and they would have to pay everybody's cell phone bill. They're not going to do that. So again, when you're on a cruise, it doesn't matter what your provider is. If you are out at sea and you're using your phone, you're going to hit the satellites. It's going to cost you a fortune. I've seen cell phone bills well over $1,000. I've seen European and Asian cell phone bills in the $4,000 range on a 10-day cruise. So do not be surprised. Keep your phone on airplane mode when you're traveling. Next, we also have our first outbreak of February. We had 5 outbreaks on cruise ships in December, 5 outbreaks in January, and we already have our first on the Radiance of the Sea, with over 90 passengers and crew came down with norovirus on board. So much so that when they're stopping in between cruises, they have already announced to passengers, please come later to the cruise port, about an hour and a half later, as they're doing a deep cleaning. Now, if you're on the Radiance of the Seas and you're heading to that cruise ship, do not be there any later than 3 p.m. If you are not at the terminal by 3 p.m., chances are you're not getting on the ship. No matter what messages go out there, be there by 3 o'clock at the very, very latest. You should be there by 2:30. Never mind 3 o'clock, because the ship will set sail at 4. They lock the doors up at 3:30, and if you're not in the terminal by 3, you're not getting on the cruise ship. So just as a heads up and a warning, I don't want anyone left behind on that ship. And finally, let's talk about Norwegian's new ships. Before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You want to keep up to date with everything going on in cruising, from the new ships on order, to mistakes people make, to cell phone charges, what not to do. Yeah, it's a thing out there. There's so many mistakes you can make when you're cruising, and that can cost you money. And I hope to bring a little enlightenment and make you a little less afraid when you're on a cruise ship, a little more informed, and save you some money. Like if this lady would have watched one of our tip videos, she wouldn't have had a $411 phone bill. Well, again, I really do appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about Norwegian's new ships. They talked about them last year, that they were going to order 4 new ships. Well, they've actually signed the contract, arranging the financing, and the order book is now made. They have ordered 4 of these new class ships. Not the same as the ships like you're seeing right now with the Prima and the Viva and the Aqua. These ships are going to be larger than the NCL Escape, which is their current Plus class series. It is their largest ships that they hold. These ships are going to be 226,000 gross tonnage. For a observation, shall we say, I'm on the Harmony of the Seas, and she happens to be 226,000 gross tonnage. Gives you an idea how large these ships are going to be. They're pretty excited about them. No real details about the ships themselves. Are they going to be like the Prima, and are they going to have different things on them, or are they going to be more like the Escape, which will have, you know, a triple-decker go-karts on the top? What's going to be coming on these ships? We're not sure yet. There's going to be a whole new design and a whole new thought process. They'll probably go with the neighborhoods, like you see MSC has gone with their large world-class ships. You see the neighborhoods on the Oasis and the Icon class ships. I would not be surprised to see that coming to the Norwegian cruise ships as well. And when are we expected to see these ships? Well, the first one is expected in 2030, which means we have 5 years to wait for the first ship to arrive with this, because they're still building the Aqua coming out. So they still have ships on the go and being brought in. They got to finish those contracts first, and then they'll start building the new 4 ships, and they will come 2 years apart after that. So 2030, 32, 34, and 36, if all goes well. The total cost of these ships is over $9 billion. That's right, $2.1 billion a ship. Wow, that is a lot of money. Obviously, they think the large cruise ships are going to pay off, and they are going in for that market. They see how well the Icons are doing, the Oases are doing, and they want a little bit of that money, and I can't say I blame them. Carnival's doing the same thing. MSC's doing the same thing. So we'll have to see what happens as they all start competing for that largest cruise ship in the world competition. Now, these ones don't look like they're going to be bigger than the Icon, but you never know once they start building and adding on. You never know. Well, let me know in the comments down below at the end of everything, who do you think's going to have the largest cruise ships in the world? Will Royal Caribbean maintain that title, or will Carnival, Norwegian, MSC, or some dark horse sneak in and grab that title? Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.